So here we got Fender Rhodes 88 key electric piano and previous owner. We put a new pickup in. Doesn't sound right. So we're gonna test some things out. We're gonna test the resistance of this pickup group here. So you can see there's a gap. There's no wire connection there and no wire connection over here. But these are all wired together in parallel. The last one in parallel is not sounding good, so I'm gonna go get my multimeter and I'm gonna test the resistance across this pickup group and compare it to what's kind of normal and see if this pickup doesn't have any continuity. Here I got my trusty Simpson multimeter set up to measure resistance of the pickups. If I measure the resistance across the 3 pickup group here, I get about 80 ohms. And this shiny one, this new one, is the one that I think is not good. So it doesn't sound. So if I measure the resistance across here, I get 60 ohms. Which, according to Vintage Vibe Pianos that refurbishes Fender Rhodes, that's what it should be. So there's definitely a problem with the pickups. The pickups got to come out. So all I have to do is snip these wires, and then if I just pull this 1/4 inch screw here, it'll pop right out. Do I cut the blue wire or the red wire? Oh no! So I was having trouble getting the Simpson multimeter to calibrate, and it appears that it's finally time to change the batteries. Yeah, that's that battery can buy alcohol. Let's party, battery. So now you take this 1/4 inch screw out. I guess I should have went and gotten that driver, huh? Pop that out. So if you look here, I'm putting the tester on one side of the coil. Okay, come on. And then connect it to the other side. And infinite resistance means that they are not connected. So this is just bad. And what I noticed is when I took it out, there's a glob of solder. And so when it got soldered in, that glob fell as a liquid and ran and dried right there. And shorted it out. So the way a Rhodes piano or what's called a time piano works is the hammer comes up and it hits this little nail. And what that does is it causes this to wiggle like up and down, like which is the note. Now how fast that is wiggling is how fast it's moving in a regular piano, is vibrating the wood and the air around it to move air to create the sound. And what this does is instead of moving air, it's magnetized, and that magnetism is induced by a magnet here. And then this coil, just like when you run a magnet along a wire, it'll make a light bulb light up if you do it with a strong enough magnet and enough wire. It's wiggling that magnetic field, which wiggles the electrical field in the wire, and that electrical wiggling is at the same frequency that it's moving. So it will push that electrical field back and forth, which goes into an amplifier, which does the whole thing in reverse. It takes an electrical field, and a speaker is just a permanent magnet connected to a diaphragm to push air, and it pushes the air at the same wave shape that this makes when it wiggles back and forth. Now, the way we tune it is we take this little weight here and shift it back and forth. And when we shift it back and forth, it will change the pitch, because it's changing where the center of mass is for this, what's essentially kind of a pendulum. But instead of a pendulum that works against gravity, it works against how much flex there is in this wire. And so that's how you change the pitch. And it's connected to the rest of the piano with these springs, and they're sprung so that this bar is allowed to pick up some of that vibration and resonate and drive that vibration back in. And this bar is really important for how the Fender Rhodes makes its classic sound.